All right, here we go. It's Moon Knight. It's episode 1. Spoiler review. I put my review of episodes 1 through 4 up on the channel already. That's the non-spoilers. So 1 through 4 I put up a while ago. So for everybody here who is now brand new to the channel and just checking it out, please subscribe. Hit the notification button and the like button, please. All that stuff. Most likely, depending on how they release this, I'm probably going to put episode 1 as its own video, and episode 2 as its own video, and then episode 3 as its own video, and then guess what? Episode 4 is its own video. But it's Moon Knight, and man, all right, so I was looking forward to this show for a while now. The first one is directed, I don't know if the whole season is, but Mohammed Diab. And I knew nothing about this from then what I had heard from my late great friend John Schnepp, who had told me about Moon Knight many times over. And then I saw the trailer for it, and like everybody else, was very intrigued by the trailer that they gave us that we're clearly going for a darker tone, going with the tone of multiple personalities, but with some other, Egyptian mythology and a bunch of stuff I just wasn't familiar with. I'm not going to pretend that I'm familiar with the comic lore. I know nothing about it. And even though people kept telling me, you should really look into the comic stuff before you watch it, I don't want to know anything about it. I want to go so new into this thing. People are like, this is kind of like their version of Batman, but darker as far as where like this Bruce Wayne clear cut knows that he's got some issues. So this guy is dealing with multiple personality disorder. Oscar Isaac, we start out. We got Steven, who's got that accent that everybody was talking about, and I love that they even play it at one point when he's trying to figure himself out. Someone calls him up, and it's just like, what's with that accent? What are you doing? And it's clearly the difference between Steven and Mark. And then you got the voice in his head, which I know is the god that Coy told me about in his name. I don't remember it yet. I'm sure we'll learn it as we start to move on into the other episodes. Sounds like Liam Neeson, but it's hilarious. He's like, oh no, the idiot's back in charge. And so this guy Steven is this kind of schlubby guy who he chains himself to the bed because he doesn't understand what the hell's going on with himself, and he's kind of a mess. He just can't remember things. He's asking people out on dates, and he can't remember doing it. He doesn't have a lot of, it doesn't seem like he really stands up for himself too much. He walks outside. There's a guy who's selling roses and shit in front of his house, and he's like, hey, yeah, fine, let's do whatever. He's calling his mom, leaving his mom voicemails, and then he works at the museum. He just wants to be a tour guide, and he's like, oh, hey, look at this, I know so much. And he's very knowledgeable about all this stuff, and yet he's just working at the gift shop, and his boss treats him like an asshole face. But still, there's little things, as I mentioned, that date. Yeah, we're going out to steak. What's a vegan going out to steak for? And he's like, I don't remember asking her out, but I guess I'm going out. And then the great scene. What a great scene. He winds up, he doesn't know where the hell he is. And he's looking up, and he waves to these guys, and they start shooting at him, and he runs into the town, and as he's there, this is when we first meet the guy who never wants to be in a comic movie ever, and that's Ethan Hawke. But yet he's really good in this show, as much as we're going to tease him a little bit for saying that. He is great, and he's this character that he's like he just reminds me of these religious zealots that are like, he's out there, he's in the middle of the circle, and he's telling the one guy, let me see inside your soul. All right, you're pure, you're good. And this one woman comes in. I thought it was a great way to set it up. And she's like, I didn't do anything wrong. He's like, you very well might be, but this sees everything. And who knows what you're going to do in the future. Kind of like Minority Report takes her out. Oscar Isaac sees all this, or say Steven sees all this. And he's got this thing in his hand. He doesn't know what the hell it is. And I love this scene. I love the idea. I love that they keep you on your toes the entire time from the second it starts. And the tone that they promised in the trailer is the tone that they deliver throughout this thing. Because even though there's some humor in it, it's not like the only goofy conversation for like a second is when Ethan Hawke finds him later on in the museum, and he's talking about the Avatar. He's like, I love that movie, but it's more like he's just trying to just get out of it. And Ethan Hawke even says, stop this, what you're doing here, stop it. Just cuts him off and says, cut it out. He doesn't try to like, oh, that movie too. This isn't Peacemaker, and I love what Peacemaker did, but that's a different tone. Peacemaker would have gone on for that bit for a while, but that's the tone that Peacemaker was in. This is not in that tone, because when he snaps out of it, and he's in this when Mark starts taking over his body the first time, when when we don't realize it, we just know something's going on because he keeps waking up. He's got blood all over his hands, and Ethan Hawke even says to him, he's like, I know you. You're a mercenary. He's like, I'm a mercenary. I work at a gift shop in a museum. What are you talking about? He hasn't figured it out yet. And I know that what Coy told me was that in the comic books that Mark is the one that we follow around, and Steven just kind of pops in as a personality. But I like the direction of starting with Steven because it takes us into this, we relate to this normal dude who's just trying to figure out his life, and then something extraordinary is happening to him because he's not just dealing with multiple personalities, which he clearly has, but there's something also authentic going on with the with the Egyptian god who's kind of taken over his being, the Moon Knight, right? And there's this great scene where Ethan Hawke says, "Let him go. We'll get him later." And they send like the demon dog at him, whatever it is, and he's running through. And Mark keeps trying to talk to him, and he's like, "Dude, let me take over. I got to take over." And then he does, and we see the Moon Knight in full get-up beating the shit out of this thing, and then it just zooms out. It was a fantastic episode. If the show pans out to be like this every episode for 6 episodes, it's not even going to be a doubt. It's going to be my favorite show that Marvel's done thus far. I think the character is fantastic. I love the idea of the way that they're dealing with the issues of mental health, but also dealing with the idea of multiple personalities. But this. And Oscar Isaac doing just phenomenal things where you've seen him play characters like both of these guys, but to do it in one shot and to be able to talk to himself and the humor in it, I'm digging. Where he's, oh no, the idiot's back in charge. And I'll tell you what, if you don't let Mark take over your body again, I'm going to kill us all. So hurry up. And and then that scene when he's driving and the music in the scene. There were a couple times, and I don't know, and I saw the shows a little early, but I think the episode 1 was finalized. I'll look at it again when I watch it in the when it drops on Disney Plus. But when he's driving through in the cupcake truck, there was some CGI. It was like, it was a little noticeable. I don't know if it's been fixed since, but it wasn't great. But what a minutia thing that I'm critiquing. Very, very nitpicky. Not a lot that I didn't like about this show. The music is used very well. The songs themselves and the way that they use them was done very well. The acting by Oscar Isaac, tremendous, and Ethan Hawke playing a great role here. Is almost like a messenger for what he's got to do. So and he understands and he knows what Steven is going through. He knows that that this thing is taking over him. So sign me up for more. I'm in, man. I am so in for this show. I love it. I think there's more to talk about as we go further on into each episode. But I mean, some of my favorite scenes I think so far that I saw was, I love the idea how they're projecting his confusion throughout it. You know, he probably could have just checked his phone and he would have seen that it said Sunday, but that's fine. He asked the server what it is, but he's just trying to figure it out. And I like that creepy, that thing that there's something going on with him. And the fact that he changed himself to the bed in the first place and opening up that I think that was Ethan Hawke that we see in the first shot when he's this guy's stepping on the glass and whatever he's doing. He's turned out to be a pretty good villain overall. And I don't know if he's going to be like a Bane type character who's working for the greater, the greater villain. But overall, this show is doing it right, man. I was on the edge of my seat watching this thing. I love this show. And I'm hoping, I always cross my fingers that the first episode was such a great setup, and then it just kind of runs its course. But the costume, I think, looks fantastic, and it's dark. It's dark enough, right? Some of the CGI was that's my biggest. I think that's my biggest gripe. Was some of the CGI was, like the demon dog, the cupcake guy jumping through, a couple things here and there, but. Story-wise, acting-wise, chef's kiss on this one. Really dig it. Kind of love it. Let's see what happens in episode 2. I'm going to check that out as soon as possible, and I probably will have that review up depending on when it drops on Disney Plus. If they both drop, if both episodes drop night of, then you can probably just watch my episode 2 as soon as you watch this. So anyway, love this show. I'm very curious for you guys, though, what you think. It was hyped up. Was it hyped up for you in the first place? Did you like it? Did you like the trailers? Did you like the episode more? Did you like it less than the trailers? Please comment and let me know. I'm going to respond to try to respond to everybody. I'm very backed up on comments. I'm not going to lie to you, but that's a good thing. Please subscribe to the channel, like, notification, all that. We got reviews, we got interviews. We do a lot on this channel, and we'll be doing the reviews of Moon Knight episode by episode, Obi-Wan episode by episode, Halo episode by episode. A lot of different shows that we'll be doing here, and we hope that you guys will join us. But that's Moon Knight. I appreciate you. We'll see you next time. Peace.